The fallout of the failed 2014 recruitment exercise into the Nigeria Immigration Service is this protest by some immigration recruits. They are demanding that they be engaged by the service after they went through the screening and training exercise of the service. However, the service thinks otherwise. My guest on this week's edition of the program is the Comptroller General of the Nigeria Immigration Service. Hello there. Thank you for joining me on the program this week. I'm Gloria Umezuke. The Nigeria Immigration Service has witnessed a series of changes since it was extracted from the Nigeria Police Force back then in 1958. While the service is saddled with the responsibility for the issuance of all Nigerian travel documents, international passports, as well as visas. Well, we'll be talking about the reforms in the Immigration Service. But coming up next, some suspended recruits of the Nigeria Immigration Service staged a protest march at the presidency to complain about what they said was an attempt to rob them of their jobs. They're now asking the Immigration Service to reinstate them in the spirit of justice. Take a listen. There is no mistaking the uniform some of them are wearing. They are representatives of the 2,000 recruits disengaged after their training by the Immigration Service in 2015.
I was recruited last year by the Nigerian Immigration Service. I was trained, and then later on we were dispersed.
And they are saying that it's illegal.
Their patience is running out. They alleged that the immigration authorities have since replaced their names with those of the children of the high and mighty in the society.
How can a state that is fighting insecurity train 2,000 youth, men and officers of the Nigerian Immigration Service, and train them in weapon handling, and then suspend them illegally? Just because those who now feel that they are now in position, because they feel that this is the opportunity to replace them with their own. And unfortunately, that is what they have done.
The Nigerian police came out in full force, clearly with a single mandate: cut short the protesters' journey. The protesters say they had received 3 months' training, including handling of weapons, and would rather serve their country than take to crime. Undeterred, the protesters came back on the second day, and there is no word on their request for audience with the president. On day 2, the protesters came out strongly with a familiar music to make their stay lively. Plus an enthusiasm to demonstrate their competences in drills. There are also some new but known faces, which prompted the question: is the protest being hijacked?
The protest has not been hijacked.
Why would you hijack any protest? For me, I live on the basis of truth. The truth here is that these young people have been done injustice. And I don't want a Nigeria that continues to act on the basis of injustice.
There are concerns. Absence of credible information 1 year after they completed induction training and a certain rule of age, which they say will shortchange them if applied.
Rule of age or rank, it cannot apply to us, because at the time we applied for these jobs, those were not the conditions for the job. Reinstatement, full emolument, we say no to age on rank, and issuance of appointment letter to the 400 ASI.
Those who are sympathetic to the cause of these Nigerians say the matter ought to be resolved, and speedily too.
I am therefore appealing to the president to immediately ask the ministry as well as the Nigerian Immigration Service to do what is right.
We are willing and we are resolute to give our best at all times.
However, the Comptroller General of Immigrations told a news conference that the protesters must report for the screening if they are still interested in taking the job.
We want to reprocess you. Since you are ignorant of the system, you are applicant, the only condition we give them, pass through certain tests. And they don't want to pass through that test. Do you blame the government for doing that? I think we should commend the president for approving this kind of procedure. It's a very commendable thing because it will reduce unemployment. We could have started fresh with others. But we said we want to touch with them alone. When we screen them, they pass the screen, they'll get their job through.
Meanwhile, the protesters appear adamant on this second day of their protest, insisting that they are not leaving the protest grounds until the authorities meet with their demands. I had a conversation with Mr. Muhammadu Babandede, who is the Comptroller General of the Immigration on issues concerning the Immigration Service here in Nigeria. He was careful to clear the air on the 2,000 people who feel they're about to be shortchanged by the federal government. Mr. Muhammadu Babandede, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
When you assumed office, you talked about reforms in the passport issuance process. Bring us up to speed with that reform.
What I promised the public when I came on board were two issues. Decentralization on issuance of passport for lost cases and change of data for married women. Or I can say for women, not say married alone. We realize that when you lose your passport, the reason could be many. Some percentage of the population could declare their passport lost for criminal intent, but the number is very small. Majority could be due to robbery, theft, fire, a lot of reasons. That in itself is a calamity to the individual. Initially, we said you must come to Abuja from wherever you are to get this passport reissued due to lost. When I came on board, I said this should be decentralized. Let us reduce hardship to the people. It costs them money, the risk of travel. I have effectively implemented that. Passport due to loss are being issued at various commands where applicants are resident. The second one is change of data due to marriage-related issues, not due to any other reason. Women are victims of change of data. Not something I like very much, but when you marry as a woman, you change your name. When you are divorced, you change your name. When you lost your husband, you change your name as a widowship. So this is not acceptable that such women are forced to come to headquarters to do such changes. We have allowed state commands to do these changes, and we have done it well. We also said that we would be more transparent in terms of prices of passport. We have displayed them in some locations. But the challenge we will continue to have related to touts. We have given directives for all commands to do away with the touts so that passports are issued efficiently and effectively.
That directive, how effective is it? How do you really monitor?
The touts become middlemen between immigration officers and the customers. And sometimes it is the immigration officers themselves who are touts. We are aware of this. We have directed officers to clear, especially in passport office. If you go to like Ikoyi, Festag, even this place when you enter headquarters, you find that people who are hanging around, yes, who will welcome applicants, interview them, promise them they will quickly deliver it. We have removed them. But you know, we cannot do it 100%. What I'm looking forward to in the future is to see a similar system. When you come, you go to one point, capture and go, and the passport is issued quickly. That will take a lot of infrastructure. It will take a lot of resources, but we'll achieve it in the future.